Frederick, how are you? Bless up, big up. Miss Peter McCook, Mr. McCool. How's the heat treating you? Hello from John Rock. Feel good to know that you're on the rock. Who else is here? Howard, how are you? Peter, when are we gonna link? This week doesn't look like a good week for me, so we gotta talk. I wouldn't say it's a new look, it's a run out of time look. It's we're in a different location and run out of time to really get myself together. So I have to put on a hat and clean up a little bit and what? I didn't get to sit in the hair and makeup chair today. So I had to, do what I gotta do. We're in a different location. Not on the farm today, so you guys won't hear any animals, etc. going on. Who else is here? Anthony, what's going on, boss? Anthony, let me see who else. Mario, welcome. Tonight, we're gonna talk about goat meat industry. How do we develop the goat meat industry? So if you guys can do me a favor and share the link with your friends and all the people who you think would be interested in knowing how to go about starting a goat meat operation. Our guests are going to be the leaders of the Goat Meat Association Facebook group, which is Darren and Anthony Chili Rose. They're going to come on and share what their goal is, what their objective is, and share their outline with us on what their plans are to develop the goat meat industry, how they see it. So Paul Sears, welcome, big up. What's going on? So I'm really excited to hear what they have to say and what they have up their sleeve, because there's a lot of chatter on Facebook and pushing people to be engaged in the goat meat development. So these guys have taken the initiative to start a group and be putting information out there and pushing farmers to take it serious. So let's see what they have to say when they finally when they jump on. Me, I'm gonna be trying to get as much information out of them as possible. So let's see what's going on. Let's see where they're at with their plans and how we can, as a group and a family, how we can help. First off, I want to give condolences to, I know Peter McCook is here on the island for a funeral, and then I learned this morning that Derek Teslander's father passed away. So I had to send, on behalf of Cabra Ranch and the iGoat chat family, want to send condolences out to our families or people who support us. Teslander's been here on the the program, and he's always a contributor and participant on the program. So all the best and prayers, enough love going out, so we gotta show enough blessings. Mr. Marco, enough blessings to you. And let's keep it moving. Let's find out where our guests are. Um, yeah, I just Anthony's supposed to be one of our guests. I see him in the chat, so I don't know. I don't see him in my green room. I don't see him backstage in my green room waiting to come on, so I don't know. And Darren also. Okay, I see Anthony. Anthony, I see you're on, but I don't see a camera. There's no video, but I see that you're there. And Darren's supposed to come on also. This is my my in-ear piece for different. I don't want to do that. I may damage it, but this is my in-ear piece for different world. But I'm using it tonight. Yona, welcome back. JB Farms, big up. Kareem, Blaine, Anthony, where are you? I need to get this going. I don't see a video. So, folks, the goat meat industry. It's been a long conversation about how do we cut into the import bill? How do we develop a real goat meat industry in Jamaica? I think over the years since I've been a part of the sector, I'll be straightforward and say I see more talk than real tangible actions when it comes to goat meat, developing the sector and actually having something out there. I know Al Archer, we had a brief conversation when he was on what he did and the challenges he faced. And he's a very big supporter of developing the goat meat industry. Everybody that he can tell to do something, he'll tell them to do it. If people get notice on Facebook, he's always, pushing people to do it, try something. Cut up the meat and sell it to your community, whatever it is, just start something. But I have my own opinions on how I think this should be, what the approach should be. So I'm going to give Anthony and the Goat Meat Association an opportunity to tell us what their plans are. But I can't seem to get them on. Let me see if I can call Anthony. One second, folks. Yo, what's going on, Mr. What browser you, what which one are you using? Yes. Are you doing it on your phone or laptop? Hello? 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 Well, there you go. He's having some technical challenges. Think he needs to give his phone access to video and audio in order for it to work. Carlos, the chef. Truly, Carlos, the chef, is back on. We haven't seen him in a while. We need to talk to him about developing some stuff. Well, Anthony's there, but he can't get access to his video. Yeah, what's the deal? Okay, all right. So he's trying to make some adjustment to his device, so the device will give the program access to his camera and his audio. Um, People have high security on their phones. Anyways, back to what I was saying is the goat meat industry needs a boost. There's Al, Mr. Archer, needs a real boost. Need like an initiative that's actually moving forward, moving the needle forward. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's like we talk about it all the time, but there's no real tangible initiative going on or somebody saying, oh, I'm making strides. I have this brand or I'm selling this amount of meat, pounds of meat per month to a specific location or outlet. Seems like we're stuck in the backyard Sunday butchering phase and forever. And I'd love to see we change that. Like, even if you're supplying a nice restaurant or a little hotel or something, let's start putting it out there. Like put it out there, let people know that you're doing it. And grow your customer base. You may have two restaurants or a little boutique hotel, and next thing somebody else is linking you and say, yo, let's be a customer. You just got to put it out there. It's I think the more people know that you're doing something, it's a better chance of it growing and a greater chance of success or people partnering with you to meet the demand. I feel like we're stuck. We're stuck in this. Like when I was a kid, every Sunday the man down the street kill 3 goat and everybody come and buy it, 2 pound, 10 pound, man buy the head or whatever, and I feel like we're stuck in that phase. I know Damian Crawford and his operation, and he has an abattoir. He's trying to develop his thing, and that's what we need. But he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't tell people it's happening. So he may have his private customer base that he's supplying, and he doesn't feel the need to advertise it. But we need to know that big things are happening for him if it is happening. We need to know. We need to feel excited that somebody's having some success. It's happening. Um, Darren said this it's not allowing Apple devices. I don't know about that because all my devices are Apple devices. You get a little thing, huh? Try your laptop or something. But this is my iPhone, and I just put it on. It's right there. It's the same link. This is my phone, the same link, and there it is. So I don't know. I have no idea what that's about. But if you can put it on your laptop or something, then maybe your laptop will have a better chance of, Google Chrome. Chrome is a good. Chrome will let it in. Danny Maestro, what's going on? I'm a big time engineer. So yeah, let's try to share the success or broadcast the success that somebody's having on a certain level. Like I don't know if Damien his thing is in full flight or it's in its infancy. I don't know. Maybe I need to bring him on and so he can share where he's at and how much pound of meat is he processing on a monthly basis. It would be good to know so we can know that there's some success happening in the market, in the sector, and then everybody else can say, okay, it's going to work. It can work. That's what I'm excited about, to know that somebody's having success at it. Somebody's taking it to the next level, moving the needle forward. That is the objective. Move the needle forward. I don't know about the conversation regarding decrease import bill. Here's how I see it. In order to decrease import bill, we gotta have hundreds, if not thousands, of small farmers providing their community with goat meat. Whether it's the local restaurant, whether it's the boutique hotel, whether it's the local supermarket or supermarket chain or something, a co-op group providing progressive or whatever with goat meat, proper, good quality goat meat, not the old meat, and you brand it and you let people know that it's there. You know what I mean? There you go, sir.
Yeah, go
Hold on,
for it.
let me finish my thought, my statement. So I'm saying that if in order to cut down on the import bill of goat meat, we gotta have hundreds, if not thousands of Jamaica is small. So let's say hundreds of small farmers supplying their community, their region with goat meat. So then the local supermarket, the local mom and pop store, the local cook shop and then things don't feel the need to buy the bulk meat that's being imported. Then in order for that to happen, you have to market it. You have to tell people that what you're selling is a better product. It tastes better. It cooks faster. It's more economical overall because it's local and it don't cook. It not take 10 hours for cook. But that's just my idea. I'll get into it deeper once I get the Goat Meat Association vice president. Is that what it is?
Right.
Yes.
That's
So everybody here, most people should know Anthony because Anthony is one of the big time contributor to the different Facebook groups that deals with goat. And so Anthony, you're the vice president of the Goat Meat Association, newly formed. Is it a co-op? What is it? You take it and tell us what it is. Tell the people what it is and what is the intention. What are you guys' intention when it comes to goat meat sector in Jamaica?
Okay, so we are still at an embryonic state. So for the most part, what we are doing right now is trying to galvanize farmers with the same concept that we have, right? So what we know is the problem. The problem is we have been understaffed in terms of producing enough goat meat to meet the demands of the country, right? So we're depending right now on imported mutton, which
Yeah.
is really not goat meat, and we believe that there's a space for us to basically come in and produce a product that is well needed right here in Jamaica. And we believe we can do it. We believe that there's a lot of financial opportunities there. And we believe that this can be a very good way to help even small income earners to earn and to grow their families and themselves, right? So are we a co-op? We are not yet a co-op, but our long-term goal is to develop what would take the same principle of a co-op, galvanizing people with like minds to go out and try to produce meat on a sustainable basis.
Okay. All right. So do you guys have an outlined plan of how you get, now you say you're in the embryonic stage, right? Correct?
Right.
Do you guys have an outline plan how you get from embryonic stage to infancy to growth?
Yes, we do. First thing we want to do, you see us trying to basically galvanize farmers to come together because we can't really do anything without numbers, right?
Correct.
Try not to go too far ahead of ourselves. We're trying to start from the ground up, right? Because we believe that even if there are farmers here who are producing meat, we believe that it's not standardized. We don't know what the formula is. We believe we are starting with a clean slate, right? So what we are trying to do is we are trying to galvanize farmers who have the same concept of farming, because we know that what we find is that a lot of persons are coming in as breeders. And we know that that is really not sustainable because we know that eventually, in order for this industry to work on a whole, just a minute, yeah. In order for the industry to work on a whole, we believe that some of these animals actually have to go on the tables of consumers, right? So we want to initiate that process, right? So the first step is to galvanize farmers with the same idea, the same mentality, and with the same drive and commitment. Very important about commitment, and the reason for that is this. What we find happening in the industry is that a lot of people are trying to breed animals that are better than the locals, right? So we tend to have a likeness for animals, for goats. So I think personally what has been happening is that a lot of persons are coming into the industry. They are buying animals for big money without a plan in mind. They are basically trying to do this farming by themselves because on the surface it looks like something easy to do, and then they are crashing out. So the industry really doesn't benefit, right?
Okay.
Now, in order for the people, the members of our group to actually show their commitment for what we are about to do, they will have to forego us an opportunity, right? In order to put the process. Because it's very easy for a person to breed an animal, and if that animal is an exotic animal, and let's say the same animal that would be ideal for us would get to 100 pounds in 6 to 8 months. If someone is able to breed that animal, chances are you will be able to sell that animal for a little bit higher than you would have been able to do it if you're doing it as meat.
Well, that's a theory. That's a theory that can be debated down to numbers, but go ahead.
True, but we have to start somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to initiate the process where we are moving animals from farm to the tables.
Okay,
So
so now we have Darren, and Darren is the president, right?
he is.
Darren, can you hear me?
I'm
I
not here.
can't. I
We're not
can't hear. I can't hear Darren. I can't hear Darren. Okay, so all right, let's. Is Darren muted? No. All right, so Anthony.
right.
Um, so what is the plan for the next, let's say, to the end of the year? What
Okay.
is the objective of the group?
So this is it now. As I said, we have to be producing meat on a short-term to long-term basis. So we have farmers among us that are already in a stage of producing meat goods, and we planned on marketing within our community first, right? So the shops and the restaurants that have been over the years relegated to buy imported mutton, we want to go to them to say, listen, we will be able to produce um, goats, and we will be able to produce goat meat, and we want to do that on a consistent basis. Now, that is in the short run, that is going to be actually quite difficult for us, because based on the amount of people that we have galvanized so far, our numbers are really not that high, right? But we want to start somewhere. We want to start small, and from there, we want to grow into something more meaningful. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so by galvanizing farmers to come together, we plan to build our numbers, right? So we'll feed off each other in terms of building numbers. So for instance, let's say for instance, Peter might have a system that can accommodate 100 animals. When Peter goes to 100 animals, then those females will be females producing his system can go on to another farmer. We have another idea also where we are planning to set up satellite farms where we intend to build what we would call a starter pack for a farmer. So you start off me, we help him to build. We help him to build a system that is consistent in terms of quality to the ones that we want to achieve, that will produce the quality that we are looking for, right? This is always plan and building numbers, because some people in some places might have access to things that we don't have. We want to feed off each other in terms of resources.
Okay, so is there I asked you if there's an outline before, but is there a product quality control protocol that you guys developed?
Certainly, we are planning to basically capture data. We have already started the process. Data collection is very important for this phase of it. We are planning to go electronically to collect data. We have already started the process. We want to know what are the numbers. We want to be able to design a system where everyone is supplying the same product, right?
Okay.
So there will be quality management. We want to be able, eventually, we don't want to go too far ahead of ourselves currently, right? So we know in the beginning, we probably won't be able to provide the same quality product across the board. For the simple fact that on some farms, we might have animals that are older, yeah, that still needs to go in the meat pot. Because let's think of it. What we are getting here in Jamaica as mutton is really old sheep, right? A lot of old sheep meat, old goats, right? Even our 3-year-old ram is probably going to be better quality than what we are already used to, right? But as I said, we have to start somewhere. So in terms of consistency, this is what we aim to achieve. We want to limit the animals that we are producing for consumption to a certain age.
What's that age?
We're trying to get the animal at 100 pounds in 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
Now, my opinion, which is up to be debated, is that we should try to get the animal at 8 months. We should basically be thinking about putting that animal as to be slaughtered as meat. Yeah, we don't want to go past it because we want to maintain a certain quality. Yeah, so we have a lot of ideas that are yet to roll out. First, we have to collect the information. We have to galvanize the farmers. We have to come together. We have to feed off each other with ideas, and then we have to put things in place. So what we have done is start the process. Over time, you will see us get more vocal, more active, getting more things done.
So is Mr. Crawford a part of this group?
Yes, he is, but he has been quite busy. He has not really.
He hasn't been active or participating in the discussions.
Yeah, but we share the same ideas.
Okay, so the big question that I have is, what is you guys' objective, or what is you guys' idea of a first offering? Because it's important that you have to do like a pilot project, right? Because you can't secure yourself a contract with a good restaurant or a boutique hotel or a supermarket and can't, after 3 months, cannot supply them with what you committed to. So in my opinion, there should be a pilot project where you try it with a local cook shop or a local restaurant or something that you know they're not going to hold your foot to the fire, and you go on for 3-4 months to see how it works, or 6 months to see if you can actually supply them with 100 pound of meat a month or whatever it is, and work out the system. So what are you guys thought process on that?
Okay, so this is our thought process. As I said, we are trying not to get too far ahead of ourselves, as we are doing. And there's a lot of things that we would want to do before we jump into holding down contracts. But what we intend to do, there's actually 2 farms that are well ahead in terms of producing meat goat.
Yeah.
So we're going to feed off those 2 farms for the beginning. So what we plan to do is we plan to basically bring the animals to that 8-month mark. We plan to slaughter the animals, and we plan to cater to the community first, because we believe that within the community, we have people who are consumers themselves, and who we can get good feedback from in terms of the quality of the product, right? As those systems grow, we can fine tune a lot of things in terms of the quality. Yeah, based on response from the clients or the consumers. But that's what we want to do. We want to start in our community first.
Okay, so here Andrew has a question for you. Andrew's question is, those satellite farms, what's the target number we're looking at for each farm?
For each farm, it's going to be a little bit different for us, because even though we are a meat group and we cater to meat, we have people playing different roles. One person might be able to only accommodate 50 animals, while another person might be able to accommodate 200 animals.
So the contribution from each farm, are you basing this on a percentage of animals produced on the farm, or are you basing it on weight? What is the
We haven't completely decided that yet. But if it's up to me, I would base it on the age of the animal. Because I know that, okay, so in the beginning, you will not be able to produce the best animal, the fastest growing animal, and maybe the animal will not get to weight in the time that we'd want, right? I still think we should produce. We should call that, well, not call, but we should produce. We should make that animal into meat at a certain age, regardless of the weight in the beginning. Because what we want to do is, while we are breeding animals, we are culling within the process to make sure that we are keeping back the best, the best animal that will produce better for the system. So as the system grows, we are going to get better at it. We're going to start having animals that are going to meet the mark. But if we are going to get, if we want to be guaranteeing quality, I personally think we should do it an age to make sure that the animal is the quality that we say we want it to be.
Okay, so you're saying, from my experience,
right,
and from the number of animals that we've processed for our own personal use, we find that the sweet spot is 8 to 12 months.
Yep.
I know for us, there's a difference when the animals start getting older, and the meat tastes better, it cooks faster, and you actually enjoy it within that 8 to 12 month region. I would rather not go 12 months, but depends on if you want to push it and get animal up to weight. But I think that should be the target, is 100 pounds within that time frame, or 80 pounds within that time frame. In North America, actually, it's 65 pounds.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
I think we have to take quality serious if we really want to grow this thing. And I believe we should do it an age of the animal, regardless.
Yes. It's like, it's whichever one comes first. If you do it at 12 months, whichever one comes, 12 months, 100 pounds, like 100 pounds, 12 months, whichever comes first.
Yep.
That animal is getting processed. You know what I'm saying? Just the quality of the meat and the branding of letting people know that, hey, we're doing quality meat. It's all about the quality. It's all about flavor, and the branding, I think, is what's important if you want people to gravitate away from the bulk meat that they import and go towards the local, nice, young, soft, tender, juicy meat. Then you have to brand it. You got to get people to buy into it. Darren is having some issues. So let me see if he's in now. Darren, can you hear us?
Darren, can you hear us?
You can hear us, but we can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, I think he has to give his laptop or his device access to the mic.
Yeah.
Give access to the microphone. That's the key.
Yeah, that's true.
If you got a headset in there, you got to watch and see if the headset is cutting it off. But yeah, you got to give it access to the microphone, Darren. This. Don't worry about it. Let's try, and we'll keep you in the green room until we can figure it out. Okay, so another question, Anthony. How many farms you are anticipating having in this group?
In the short run?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is it. This is why we are trying to galvanize people who share the same idea, because we know that we're not going to be able to do much with the amount of people that are in it right now. We need to grow in numbers, right? Number of farmers, number of farms, number of animals.
But you keep saying number, but you're not giving me a number.
How much? It's hard for me to tell you a number right now at this time.
Yeah, no, it's not hard.
This minute we have pretty much about 8 farms that are involved, but not all the farms have a lot of goats, right?
Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back a little bit.
Okay.
are we approaching it from the number of animals or pounds of carcass that you can process, or are you looking for a certain number of participating farms?
Okay, well, we are looking at both because if we don't have participating farms, we are not going to grow in numbers of goats as fast as we wish. So we are looking at number of carcasses, but among ourselves, the number is really not that good. Yeah, the number is not that good. So what we will need is more farmers on board that can work together to build numbers as individuals. So the numbers will come, but until we get more people who are interested, then that's when we are going to be able to impact this industry in the real way. We need more farming. Even if one of us should be able to accommodate 1,000 animals, that's still not going to be a good dent on the industry.
Well, you see, that's as I was saying earlier before you actually come on. I think the focus needs to shift from that massive import bill and shift towards developing an actual product, an actual brand, an actual business. So in the event the government decide that they can afford to subsidize the sector, your business or your brand is positioned to benefit. Like it's discouraging and it's disheartening to look at the massive bill and say, "Oh, how do we cut into it?" I don't care about cutting into it. What I care about is getting a piece of that pie. If people are consuming an X amount of dollars in goat meat, I want my share out of it. So I don't care if the import bill goes down or not. I just want my share out of that money that's being spent on goat meat. So you develop a brand that will get you some of that, a piece of that pie.
Yep.
Because in reality is the chances of getting 100 farmers to be on the same page is the chances of that is next to nil. But if you have 10 or 20 farmers that are willing to contribute, say 50% off or 60% of the animals of the buck meat that's produced on their farm, and they guarantee that they're gonna have 200 head or 100 or whatever head of females producing, it's up to the leaders of the organization to say, okay, we're gonna have a system, a production system in place, and we're gonna help farmers put in this system in place, so you know that you're producing animals on a regular basis throughout the year, whether it's it's group breeding or whatever it is, to ensure that there's always animals hitting the ground every month, every other month, and you go through that whole beta process over 6 months or a year and see where you're at with that group, that 20 farmers, and you see where the numbers are, and at the same time building a brand servicing on a limited scale to specific hotel, restaurant, or whatever, small scale, just to ensure that you have a delivery system in place, you have a quality control system in place. And then once you get the production in place, everything seems to be fine-tuned. They figure, okay, now we can scale it.
Okay, so what you're saying is actually workable and is actually a plan of ours, right? What we plan to do, as I said, was set up some satellite farm. which is a part of the process. Set up satellite farm to kind of like open the idea of making meat farming a business. So we have a standard template, set up the satellite farms and have those repeated.
Yes.
Right? That is going to grow our numbers. It's going to put us in a position where we are better able to produce the product, right? But as I said, we are still in the embryonic state. So for the most part, right now in the short term,
yes,
yeah, we have to focus on getting our numbers up. Numbers in terms of numbers of animals. You would have Facebook trying to get people hyper and ready and excited about getting your numbers up. That is a process in itself, because before building numbers, we have to build systems to accommodate the numbers.
Correct.
Right? And as I said, we feel like we are starting with a clean slate here. So a lot of us don't have the system in place to accommodate the numbers. Right? So we have to feed off each other to help each other build that system also. Right? In the meantime, we'll be producing goat meat because we'll be producing goods. Those goats will go to 90% of those goods will go to the meat market. Right? In terms of putting a figure on it, I wouldn't do that just yet because it's early stages.
Put a figure on what? Put a figure on what?
I'm saying I wouldn't put a figure on it because it's in terms of how many we are able to produce, how many farms can we get in the short term, because this is an idea that I think needs some selling. It is the most sustainable, but not everybody sees it as the most rewarding. Yeah, which is why we have so many breeders now. So first we have to make sure that we set a template of profitability from the meat producing industry, and then we can sell that template so that people can understand, realize their costing. Because what we find happening is that a lot of farmers, they are just doing goats, but they don't know how much it really costs to get a goat to maturity. Yeah, so they don't know if they're making a profit or a loss. No, we want to do things a little bit differently. We want to make sure that we are able to put a cost to everything that we do. Then we can mimic that, and then we can tweak it to be better as we go along.
Okay, so in the current climate, let's be hypothetical here. In the current climate, what the retail prices for goat meat, processed goat meat, it varies in different regions, but let's say it's $800 or $850, $900, right?
Right.
What would you say, or have you guys done any calculations to say, okay, we need to get the cost to get an animal to market needs to be $500, $600? What is it supposed to be per pound in order for this to work?
Oh, we haven't gone through all that yet, to be honest. We haven't gone through all that yet. But as I said, it's a work in progress. Even the costing is something that we have to look at, because different people at this stage now, we all have different systems, and different system is the costing is totally different. So we would want to try to have some form of uniformity going forward in order to get everybody on the same page.
You ever watch the show Shark Tank?
Shark Tank? No, I haven't seen it.
You never seen it? Okay. Well, I can't say anything in relation to Shark Tank if you've never seen the show. Trying to break it down because
companies eat the smaller ones.
Yeah. So anybody here on the show here watching, if they've ever seen this show called Shark Tank, is where budding entrepreneurs, startups, people who have ideas or a little business that's going, they go in front of the sharks and which are established, successful entrepreneurs, and try to pitch to them to get them to invest in their business, right? One of the big questions that always comes from the sharks, which are the successful entrepreneurs, is always, what is the unit cost of production? And the reason they ask that question is to find out, is there any profitability in it based on the way they're doing it? And if there is, then, oh, it looks good. If there isn't, then they try to find out where's the problem in the production of the product. How can they lower the cost of production in order for it to be profitable? You get what
I
I'm saying?
understand.
So it's important in the sales pitch and the selling of this initiative to let farmers know that, yo, we have a way to keep your costs down. We have all of that. So your profit margin is gonna be up there. So for
Okay.
example, if it's costing you $300 a pound to get animal to market, then and you're selling it for $900 a pound retail, then you're making a good profit.
I understand. We
Mhm.
have the costing on one particular farm.
Yeah.
One particular farm. And that
Okay.
farm, it, based on his calculation, it costs him $8,000 to get the animal to maturity,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get the animal from birth to wean it to where we'd basically where we'd slaughter that animal. $8,000 based on
Mm-hmm.
his system. Now, this is the thing is what we don't have now is consistency among all of us, right? Which is what makes the costing so hard to say right now. What we need first is to have some form of uniformity in terms of the system that we build, which is what we are about now. Right now, we are collecting data. We are figuring out systems that can be put in place for us to access these data remotely at one location. Um, all that we are doing just to gather information that will help us to actually standardize the whole process.
Okay.
So we are getting there.
No, you guys look like you like dead serious about this. You guys are like, and that's the reason you guys are here. Don't mind me and these you know, questions that are people are thinking, why is he asking these questions? I'm asking these questions because I want you guys to spell it out for everybody that you're serious. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as I said off the top, I don't want no more talking. I want to see tangible movements. You
And
know,
yeah, and
I want
personally,
to. Yeah,
I'm all
it's important that we see tangible movements in the positive direction.
yep. That's what's gonna make the difference. Personally, I'm all in. I'm planning to slaughter animals when they get to that 8 months. I'm planning to start the process. Yeah, I'm planning to start with my community. I want,
Hmm.
want to kind of like lead from the front, so they see that this thing is achievable, it's possible, and there's room for a lot of growth. Yeah, but there's also room for a lot of financial gains.
Yeah, so
And
Dr.
still,
Young says, so if the cost is 8,000 per animal at a farm, why do we think we should sell an animal for 30,000?
uh, good question, but that's what we have been doing over the years, right?
Yeah, but is that 8,000 correct?
Yeah,
Is it correct?
it is correct on that particular farm.
Which farm is this?
I wouldn't even, I wouldn't
Okay,
even,
okay, don't name the farm, but
yeah,
is everything factored into this cost?
yep,
And what age is that animal?
8 months,
8 months,
yep.
and it's $8,000 to get the animal from birth
Well,
to.
you have different kind of costing. This particular person probably didn't factor in all his workers because he probably will be having workers anyway that he has to pay, right? Let's for instance, if I have a farm going and my workers are already working from 8 to 8 to 5,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And those workers has to be paid,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
Yep.
was probably factored on a different from how you would factor in, let's say, whatever time is spent with the animals, the goats. Then, for example,
Yeah, you can break it down in percentage.
this would already be factored in. Yeah, so it
No.
makes it a lot easier for this particular person. Now, for this particular person, it might be different from my situation. My situation might be different because there's somebody that I probably have to pay to be there for the entire time because I'm now having work.
Okay, so here lies the problem in how people calculate these things. And we've been having this debate for the last 3 years. I remember Mark Constable did one, a couple other people did one, and it created all kinds of stir.
Yeah,
The problem is people are not really factoring it, all the expenses on the farm. They factor in the important stuff that they see and have to deal with every day.
true.
But they don't factor in fuel, they don't factor in telephone, they don't factor in even if there's utility like light bill and water rate
And all that.
and they don't prorate their security system over 2 3 years, whatever. If it costs them 100,000 to put in a security system, how do you break that down over a month and then break it down per animal? It is a cost to the farm.
That's true. That's
If you
true.
have 5 dogs, the 5 dogs should be treated like an animal and break down accordingly in the cost. So when somebody say, "Yo, it costs 8,000," I'm like, I don't know how you get that because it seems pretty low to me.
Yeah. Well, maybe everything is not factored in, but then again, that is something else that is left for discussion. We have to discuss that. We have to come up with a structure. We have to come up with a way that we are going to do the costing to make it formal and structured.
So
And the same.
here's the scary stuff. Here's the scary stuff about putting information out there, or is it like costing like that out there? Look at Doctor's Young note comment. Read that comment.
Hold on. I might be killed for saying that, but that Matt's making me think we have robbed the consumers. But that's true.
Okay,
But
no, but if
overpriced.
you put information out there like that, then it appears that you're making 300, 400% profit on an animal. But
No,
the
well,
reality is it is not.
no, well,
It
I'm
is
not
not.
saying that. The information that I'm talking about is for one particular person. So of
Okay.
course, we all can't go out there and be like, okay, we are spending $8,000 to get the animal to mature. That would be crazy because different farm have different expenses. Where my farm is, I don't have water. Yeah, maybe
Mm-hmm.
you have water, but I don't. It means that to get water is gonna probably cost me a little bit more than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Where my farm is, I'm not on the farm every day. That is gonna cost me too. So that's what I was saying, that every farm is different. And before we can do anything else, we have to structure a system and try to design all the other systems around it in a way that's workable.
Yeah,
We have to,
so if I understand you correctly, many different farmers that are participating in this program may have to sell the group their carcass at a higher price point than, let's say, somebody who have water and have more animals and etc., access to pastures and all them things. Their cost may be lower than a fully intensive system that I'm gonna
okay,
have a truck in water.
okay, so
So
we are,
then, him can't, the man, the fully intensive system man can't sell you carcass at a cheaper, at the same $350 per pound or 300 or $450 per pound, whatever they sell it, the cost is. He can't do it because his cost is way higher.
Which is why, okay, so we are at the beginning stage.
I
Right?
don't know. I'm
At
just
this,
trying to help you hash it out.
at this point, we really can't design any one system that is supposed to work for every farmer. Some farmers right now in the system is not able to produce animals to sell to the group. And, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So we're gonna have to start from somewhere. So there's particular farmers in the group that are able to get to that stage earlier. That is, they are able to probably keep their costs low enough to be able to make this into a business. Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to create a template and try to mimic that template. And we need to do that template around so that it's workable in the same way. We are not there.
Okay. So Darren is saying, because I said sell the group the animal, he's saying that's not the model. The group won't be buying animal. Okay, explain to me how it's gonna work. Because they have to contribute to the group, to the
So all we want
no?
is we want to have a common market. So you're not gonna sell the group the animal. We want to have a common market and we are gonna supply that market. This is in the short run. Yeah. It might take some tweaking, but we are gonna supply that common market as individuals. But we are subject to the same standard, the same quality control.
All right. Okay. Okay. Let's say Darren close a deal with Progressive.
Okay.
Because he knows that he has 20 farmers that he can pull inventory from.
Right.
Okay. So he closed a deal with Progressive that he can supply Progressive 1,000 pounds of meat a month because he knows he has 20 farmers that will help supply the 1,000 pound of meat. How does that 1,000 pound of meat gets delivered to Progressive? How do you guys envision it happening?
Okay, this is what we plan to do. We want to have a central hub. Right? So we do want to have a central hub. We want all the farmers, all these 20 farmers are supposed to be subject to the same quality control process. Right? It means man can't just go on the road and buy an animal and add it and bring it out. We want to make the system computerized. So we can access it electronically. It means then that if I'm able to produce 200 animals this year, I should have that plugged into a system. Okay, my kids are born this year, I have this amount of kids coming, whatever, so that we can market that, right? So when you secure the contract, then when we get the animals, by plugging it in the system, we would have known at what time we will have the animals available. And those animals are what we are going to be marketing.
No, but my question is, there's going to be a central location, right?
So we're going to bring the animal to a central location. We're going to
for processing.
Yeah, we're going to supply them as one. This is what we want to do in the long run, because I don't think this is feasible for the short run. But this is what we aim at, and this is what we are targeting, right? So we supply the animals as one, but people will be compensated differently.
How does the compensation scale work?
Well, we haven't worked out all of it, but I can tell you, the association itself or the corp itself, we are not looking to make a profit. We are looking to grow the industry, right? So people will be compensated to the same standard.
I understand it. I understand the thought process and the idea behind it, but something has to be held for the association in order for it to grow.
We understand that, so we're gonna work that part out as we go along. But because we are not, this is it. We don't have, among us all, we don't have 500 goods. Understand?
No. I understand that whole thing, but for me, me, Anthony. I like to have a roadmap It doesn't mean I can detour and change and go to and come, but I gotta have a roadmap of how am I getting from A to B. I may be
Do
halfway through there and realize, yo, you know what, man, I forgot to take a detour now, but I still have an idea of how I get from A to B. I don't like the thought process of winging it in the layman terms. I don't like the idea of winging it because winging it means you don't know when to do the detour. You don't know when to make the adjustment because there was no clear roadmap from A to B. So I know Darren is itching because he can't get on and he wants to come on and
so
say what
bad.
he needs to say. And I know Darren, and maybe we have to bring you back, Darren, so you can tell us how you see this. But okay, so the co-op thing, people that are contributing animals to the co-op for the market to develop the market, right? There has to be a actual cost, or else on their business side it will be flawed without saying, yo, I know I can get X amount through the association and I'm going to factor that in my business model. 60% or 40% or 30% of the animals I'm producing, that is going to the association,
So the cop, yeah.
the co-op, and this is what that revenue is. It's fixed. It's what it is. This is what we're getting for that meat. You know what I'm saying? So then they can build out their own business, because if they have their own people that they gotta supply, then they can say, now this is how they balance out their business model. It can't be, I don't know what you're gonna get. It has to be factored in. It has to be factored in. So when you go in and tell a farmer, yo, you need to be a part of this for the benefit of growing the sector, then they say, okay, it's a good thing. We give you 30%, and it's X amount. At least we can buy feed. At least we can do whatever. It's gonna be there. See what I'm saying? That's the growth.
I do understand and I agree. I'm just saying that we are not there yet. we haven't discussed all that yet because we really don't have the support to even be able to put that in motion.
You just need 10 people, man.
Yeah, but we don't have even 10 people that is going to be supplying that is in a position to really supply goat meat on a consistent basis. So
maybe they don't know they do.
Yeah, that's it. So what we want to do is we want to create that template. We want to show them the idea of what it is and how it would work. And then we want to galvanize us together, and then we work at the goal. But as it stands right now, we feel like we're starting on a clean slate. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no empirical data to show how it has been done before successfully. Yeah. So we have to work most of the things out as we go.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you got to be able to make the adjustments as you go along, and figure it out when it comes to the curveballs. But what I would like for you guys to do is to have a clear outline of how you see it working, so that you can get serious people.
We do have a outline of how we see it working. It's just that it's not fine-tuned yet. Yeah. It's not fine-tuned yet. So we're just working with the process.
So you can commit to a timeline to come back and update the people, them? Yo, I ain't treating you guys no different than how I treat Lincoln and Mr. Mako with them feed program,
No, man.
Okay. If you remember how many times they had to give update. I'm not treating you guys ain't no different, bro. And you know I got my love for you, Anthony. You know that me and you like your family. But I'm not treating y'all no different.
We need to be taking action, right? And
Yeah.
that's why I'm bothering me right away for us to start. That's why me personally, I'm willing to make the commitment, ignoring the opportunity cost that I would have gotten from producing animal of a certain genetics and meat. Yeah. So I'm leading from the front. I want to start from there, right? I don't want to put a timeline to it. I don't want to put a timeline to it yet, because, as I said, we are really not there yet. It's a work in progress. I would prefer for us to come together and create more of a structure first. We have started the process. What we are doing now is galvanizing people. We want to show them what it will take for them to actually have a sustainable farm running, and we want to attract people to the business of meat goat farming.
Yo, you got Dr. Young vote of confidence, bro. We are rooting for this.
Yeah, I think it's well needed.
It's way overdue. Like when initially when you and I spoke earlier this week, whatever, I told you, I'm like, I don't want to hear no lip service, man. I want to see serious conversation and movements. I want to see a success story. I want a man to come and tell me, say, yo, man, I sell 5 restaurant meat with a logo on it. It doesn't have to be 200 people you're selling meat to. It doesn't have to be, you just got to start and build it out. But it's well formalized. It's proper branding. You have an idea what you're doing. You're delivering on a timely basis. You're not overextending yourself. You're getting good reviews on the meat. And that's how you build it out.
True.
Yeah.
What we have right now is about 8 farmers that are serious about accomplishing it. They are willing to make sacrifices. They are committed, and they want to do it. And what we are trying to do is get more persons doing it. Now, I cannot guarantee how fast we are going to go. But what I can say is that the people that are a part of it so far, we are serious and we are willing to go. We want to go the entire distance on this one, because we believe it's well needed.
Well, you have a support in Cabra Ranch and iGoat chat. You have a full-on support, and you guys can come and give update when you want. You don't have to use the whole show. You can just come off the top and do update like everybody else that have an update on their initiative. And you're welcome anytime. Are you in a position to take questions from the iGoat family?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so guys, throw the kitchen sink at Anthony. He can handle it. Ask him anything you want to ask him in regards to this goat meat association. I know Darren has a lot to say, so he may have to figure out when he can come back, and he'll be the one next one. He's the one giving the update next time.
Come on,
Yeah, let me see if there's any questions here that you can address that we may have missed.
I know Darren is very passionate. Maybe I need an entire session.
Oh, Darren?
Yeah.
No. I'd love to have Darren come and do his thing. Will females be going into the pot as well? No, I wouldn't support that.
Not right now. What we want to do really is we want to use the females to bring our numbers up. But eventually, when we start having the numbers that we desire, we're gonna start calling females to make way for the better breeders in production system. That's what we want to. That's where we want to go. I don't foresee that happening anytime soon, but it's a process.
Here's the thing that Jamaicans don't realize. Unlike other countries, especially the developed North American countries, Jamaica has the added benefit of having a small processing plant on their property that they can sell to the public. and it doesn't cost a lot of money to get it done. In North America, you can't do that in most states and provinces in the case of Canada. You can't do that. You have to bring it to an official state-sanctioned abattoir and get them to do it. And then it gets inspected there. You know what I mean? Me up at iGoat can build me like an abattoir and tell them, say, yo, every Wednesday make a process meat or whatever, and the inspector will come on that day at whatever time I tell him he'll be ready to go, and come and do him inspection, inspect the place, whatever meat is approved to go to the public.
Yep. Which is somewhere where we want to get to. We want to get to that stage also.
So it's not that far-fetched.
Yeah, so what we have discussed is that we are going to try to get a centralized abattoir.
Yeah.
Where we can do our processing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doable. And I said off the top, I think the way to really cut into the import bill is to have hundreds of these small operations all over the island.
Yep.
All over the island. Hundreds of them. You see like how everybody know bring a chicken from this little bit to the bag? That's what we need to do.
Yeah, so where that is concerned, the satellite farms that we are planning to fix them, because what we find happening is that we have people that probably have 50 goats and they are not able to accommodate much more. But if we are setting up the satellite farms, then that's how we're going to grow the numbers, because you have 50 goats and you're not able to accommodate more. But then if we can start building from you another farm, then that is we're gonna see the numbers growing exponentially in the years to come.
And you got to remember also, you could be in the milk production and still contribute to the meat, because you can't milk ram goat.
Yep, that's true.
That's true. all these males that can be born on a milk operation, they can go to the meat market.
Yep, true.
Yeah. So if you have 50 goats, and for me, like I said last week or the week before, because we're off last week, when I'm saying if you have 50 goats, consider going into milking or whatever, because then you don't have to, if you have a problem with scaling because you don't have the space, etc., and you get into milk, then you can sustain your operation from the milk production and added value products from the milk, and then you can participate in the meat by selling the males to the meat industry.
That's so true. I agree.
Yeah. So it's not one or the other. It could be both. There's no such thing as one or the other. It's both. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's a question. What's the goal or the end result of the Goat Meat Association? That's an obvious answer. Let me take it away, son.
Yeah, basically, the goal is to start producing meat. We need to capture that market where everybody is importing money. We need to try to capture all of that market for ourselves. We can produce goat meat because we have goats, we have grass, we have feed. Why are we not producing that product?
Maybe we should let go wild goats into Blue Mountain.
No, I mean,
them just go up, they go breed up, and then we just like.
Well, that's not gonna work if we're trying to do it sustainably.
I mean, why isn't that so safe? If deers are up there breeding at will, why can't our goats breed at will up there?
Well, they're gonna breed at will, but are they gonna breed consistently in a way that we can actually cover the meat market? Maybe not. I don't know the kind of science that goes with it. But what we need to do is control our production system to make sure that the wheels keep turning.
Understood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that response. I like that answer. But most of the meat you buy from New Zealand or Australia is feral goats, like wild goats that they just herd up on. I'm going to post a video. There's a 60-minute Australia video on YouTube, and they show you how they would use helicopter and hurl them up and capture them.
Yep, I know. I've seen it before too.
Yes.
But
So
we have to try find something that works for us. I'm
yeah,
not
man,
so.
wild goats from Blue Mountain Peak can work.
The Blue Mountain Peak, but the first thing first is here in Jamaica, if you have goats that are wild or loose, they pretty much belong to everybody. Yeah, so if you have goat and you have them caged, I'm really trying to come get them. So I don't know how safe that would be.
Man, I would love to see goats running wild like those deers in the mountains. Seriously.
I'd love to see.
Yeah, then people can go hunt them instead of hunting people valuable goat that's in them backyard. You can go hunt them like a native ram goat them in a Blue Mountain if you want goat, instead of robbing people and killing people.
You're right, but it is what it is. Huh?
It is what it is. Any other questions, Sir Anthony, folks? I guess you did such a great job. Nobody have questions. You answer all the questions that they could even think of. Oh, there's a question. How do somebody participate in this? How do they get involved and be a part of this initiative?
Reach out to us at on Facebook, maybe in the group.
Darren, Darren, if you're in the comments, can you post the Facebook link for everybody right here in the comments?
Sorry.
Yeah, Darren, if you're in the comments, just post the Facebook link in the comments for everybody so they can check out what you guys been doing over there, talking about. And who else is here that's active in the thing? Justin? No. Leon, repeat your questions to me, because going back to the top is a lot of work to find question back at the top. Leon, repeat your question, Mr. Leon Golding. I don't know what that means. How hard do you have to rub a goat to do the thing? What does that mean, man? Like sometimes I see some questions. I'm asking myself, what do they mean by that? Maximilian, he says he's an active member in the group. That's good. So he can answer some questions too. All these folks, you got a lot of people that are, active participants that are willing to answer questions and help people to join. How many people you have committed to be part of this pilot project and help develop their farm?
We have 8 people so far.
8.
Yep.
And I see somebody mentioned that right now it's just 365 females that are committed.
That's what we have. I don't have the figures readily. I was hoping, because we submitted all the figures and we discussed it, but Darren is the one with all the figures.
Okay. So Leon's asking, what would make a farmer who's already making $900 to $1,200 per pound join this group? I have an answer, but it's your question, so go ahead.
What a farmer who is what?
What would make a farmer who is already making $900 to $1,200 per pound join the group?
Okay, so what we are trying to do is we are trying to come together, because we can achieve way more together than we can achieve as a single farmer. We'll help you to find a consistent market, produce more. We feed off each other.
Go ahead.
We feed off each other in terms of the system, create a system, a standard, beneficial to all. That's what we are doing.
All right. So let's play devil's advocate here. If I'm a farmer who's developing my goat meat brand, and I have like 4 or 5 restaurants and whatever that I'm supplying, and my price point is $1,200, like Leon said, $1,200 per pound, because these are high-end restaurants that are, what's the incentive for me to come into the group if I'm really establishing my customer base and marketing and branding my thing on a next level? What is the incentive to be a part of the group?
Well, for us, at this stage, we really just want we want people to be based on to think of it like on a bigger scale where we can supply more. So although you're supplying already, we can do better. The market is way bigger than just a few restaurants. Right? There's more to earn. Right? One person cannot do it. So you might be able to supply that amount now. And that is still a small basis to the potential that we can actually supply. Yeah. Together we do more. As a single person, if you're supplying 100 pounds now, you come together, we grow this thing together, you probably will be able to supply 1,000. That's how it is. We're all going to go together in this.
Yeah, well, there's another answer to that question. So this is a new initiative for you. And if there's somebody out there that has a customer base that's building their own brand, why not come and share it with the group and say, yo, this is what I've been doing. This is what's been working for me. How about we try this? How about we develop this on a grand scale?
That's a moral responsibility that we are putting. Well, personally, if I am able to do that, I would gladly join the group to pass on some of the knowledge and the experience that I have, right? But that's just me. If you're producing on a high level, I mean, there's not much of that happening right now that in Jamaica that we can speak of. But if you're producing on a higher level, you're already a meat goat farmer, you're doing well. We want you on board because we want you to be a model that we kind of can emulate, learn things from, right? As I said, we started on a clean slate. If we don't have to, that would be a plus. If we have to provide an incentive to get the information, well, the incentive is just the potential of more growth.
Got it. Good answer. Any other question, folks, before we let Anthony go? What is the proposed cost for retail using this format?
We're not quite there yet. I mean, we're just building out our numbers. We're just strategizing. We're just gathering data. We're trying to figure it out before we move forward. So we're not there yet. But if you are interested in producing meat good, if you come to us, you can help us to brainstorm the process. We know that we're gonna have to tweak it some way, somehow, and we have to come up with a pricing and a standard. But we are not there yet, to be honest. We just started.
Okay. Here's another question. How much would it cost to build a high-end goat house like Cabra Farms?
That sounds like a question for Cabra Farm.
Damien, do you want... Send us a WhatsApp message, Damien. I can tell you this much, that we're maybe 7, 8, 9 million Jamaican dollars in. But you got to remember that we're deep into this. We're 2 years into this with, a lot of infrastructure investments, security, a lot of things. So
it's a long-term investment.
Yeah.
Long-term investment. We're not
It's
in
a
it for
long-term investment. So we're not expecting to make that money back next year. You know what I mean? It's over a 5 year or close to 10 year prorated return. You know what I mean? So the reason I said if you want to understand how we figure this out and do this, would rather have a real conversation over the phone or something so I can break it down. But if you want to know what the actual just the goat house cost, was close to 2 million Jamaican dollars just the goat house to build it. But you have to take a tour of the goat house to understand why it costs that much. Right, Anthony? Tell them.
Yep, and that is being modest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean it's a very complex answer, but if you want to know how it works for us and how we go up our approach to it, we have to have a phone call, a phone conversation, or
What he really wants to know about is the system and not the house.
yeah, it's like the house. Don't worry about the house because the house is built for agritourism. Like, don't I tell people all the time, do not look at the house. Do what Anthony did and come and understand how the system work. You know what I mean? The system can work in any house. You know what I mean? That's the key is the system. The house is built for people to come and say, oh wow, this is nice, and don't want to leave. That's why it's built for. So don't look at the house. Come find out how the system works.
Yeah.
Any other questions, folks? Lumber prices are up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the cost of that thing may be doubled by at this stage, but the house is just for people to come and feel good and look at it, and it look nice and it's unique, and we sit and we have some wine and goat cheese and them things, and that's what the house is built for. Honestly, the house could have been a big rectangular thing if that's all we wanted to do, but as I said, it's an agritourism destination, and that's why the farm is built the way it is. It's for always people to say, oh, that is cool, that is unique, I want to come take a look. So, all right, Anthony, thank you, sir. And Damien, link us if you want to have a conversation. Not tonight, link us tomorrow. So thank you, Anthony. Thanks everybody for participating. Thanks, Darren, for trying. And we will reschedule you, Darren, when further down the line when things are more on paper and you guys have a better idea of, or even just some advancement in your planning, and we can update the people on it. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys coming, and I appreciate everybody that's participated. Dr. Young, Andrew, everybody, Mr. McCool, all the regular, Leona, Frederick, everybody. I didn't see Tiana, and I don't see Khalil Brown. I don't think he comes on anymore. And everybody that participated, I appreciate it. Lincoln, big up KC. And see you guys next week. Thanks again. Peace out. And we'll see you guys next time.
And thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Thank you. See you down the road when you guys have, big time meat coat operation going on across the island.
Yep.
All right, cool. Bye.